My name is Gold. I swear I will not decay, arm of the goddess. Then the chant reached the adventurer's ears. It was roasted 3 times and will suffer punctures forever. If the firearm is in prison, glory will arise and death and injuries will be eliminated. The voice came from the enemy formation. Looking away from the coalition faction forces, they appeared in the depths of the gradually clear sand. Lily was the first to notice them. These brown pupils captured a group of people in white robes that looked like witches. The fierce bombardment brought by the magic sword raised waves strong enough to block the battlefield. The commander who failed to find the opponent in time let out a mournful cry. I am Gold. Guided by the light of recovery, may the strife in this place never end. The long light red hair is tied in 2 bundles, and the battle attire is a white shirt and red bodysuit, a nurse's dress, wearing pitiful armor. The only girl who dressed differently from other healers and apothecaries, Hypocrisy, who held a long staff decorated with gold, noisily weaving spells. In the middle of the battlefield filled with corpses, a huge golden magic circle unfurled. This unbelievably large scale made the adventurer stop, and at that moment she said the name of the spell. Zeo Gulvig, Super Wide Area Recovery Magic. The girl who once supported the baptism of Battle Wilderness, with just 1 person activated her supernatural ability. The tenacious warriors who fell to the ground were truly resurrected. Bathed in the golden magical light emitted from the ground, the charred and frostbitten human body of the frozen demi-humans returned to their previous state. Dwarves and Amazons would press the severed arms or legs against the wounds, and magical steam would rise and the limbs would return to normal. Almost like an undead creature, slowly. The soldiers rose one after the other, seeing Boris and the others startled, speechless. Lady Freya gave permission. From now on, this is another battle wilderness. Time seemed to stand still for the adventurers. And the person who created this scene, Hythe, let the wind take his words. Welcome, brave barbarians. Contrary to his words. With her cold eyes, she wasn't looking at a soldier, but at an insect. Misfits like a therapist. The look of a cruel enemy that has never been seen before. The beautiful girl with appearance comparable to the goddess announced the death penalty. May the fight bless you. The eyes of the revived warriors glowed brightly. The magic swords quickly. Lily screams fast. Too late. The witch Hythe. In the name of the goddess, the oracle was sent. Second dash. Performed by a death-defying army. This time, it really bit the faction coalition forces. The first strike shortened the distance by more than half, and the strong warriors ran the remaining distance in one breath, and then took advantage of this momentum to brandish swords, spears, axes and hammers together. The vanguard shield officers of the faction and coalition forces quickly set up their large shields, and there was a fierce clash between the two. The surface of the large shield changed shape, and the dwarf's extremely heavy body recoiled after enclosing the equipment. The antagonism was only for a moment. Dormal and the other, Mani Familia's defenses were shattered and they flew back. Facing the hard warrior who launched the attack, armor was shattered, weapons all broken, and blood danced wildly in an instant. After that, it was all the usual scenes. These cruel level and ability score numbers make low-level adventurers realize what it means to be devastated. Humans were cut off. The human demi was stabbed. The female elves became shuriken bait and the Amazons were wiped out. After being knocked down by the opponent, Dormal and the dwarves, who fell to the ground, turned to mats, their bodies were crushed by countless iron boots, and blood splattered everywhere. Chaos and panic gripped the faction and coalition forces, and the troops crumbled all at once. Bastard! Seeing the one-sided fight, Aisha, who was wielding a dappa knife, roared around. Right wing, left wing, center, everything kind of destroyed after just one clash. The front line, including the vanguard shield, has been devoured, and the enemy's fangs can even touch the mages in the rear and the reserve team hiding Haroheim. Some adventurers even fired Kroso's demon sword regardless of the impact on their companions, but it was useless. Even if one of the corners was destroyed, Freya's family didn't stop. They unsurprisingly threw their comrades who fell to the ground and split the enemy along with the magic sword. The three adventurers who sent the coalition army to fight together and the tough warriors can be defeated by just one person, which is really a nightmare. This is the law that quality is greater than quantity revealed in the Age of God. Compared to 100 diverse soldiers, a strong high-class adventurer is more capable of dominating the battlefield. Facing an opponent whose skills and strategy are stronger than his own, adventurers who sent a coalition army are helpless. Too strong. Everyone, even the soldiers in the background. Mikoto, who had no choice but to focus on running away, endured the blades being swung in all directions and screamed loudly. She is no longer an upright samurai or swordswoman, but is conducting ninja moves to survive here, but even that is not allowed. Smoke bombs, grenades, and even throwing props like kunai's Red Knight. The weapons and props prepared in advance were used by her with great impetus. She finally killed a person and avenged revenge on him, but the feedback in her hand told her that this was just a low-level LV adventurer. 1. The merciless facts had her standing there stunned, and then her neck was almost cut, so she could only continue to struggle with shock and anxiety. The strongest faction. They should have been very clear about the meaning, but now it has turned into a threat beyond cognition, causing them to shake uncontrollably. Senorita Haruheim, use the level up. Give it to Aisha-sama, Mikoto-sama, Daphne-sama, Boris-sama, Welf-sama. When the alliance of factions eroded, Lily was not idle. The number of crowns placed is 5. After sublimation, Haruheim, Ninetails' upper limit increased to 6, and her spiritual power also increased. I fell into mental exhaustion after using 5 tails during the lower tier expedition, but now I don't have to worry about it. To barely manage to keep the front line, Lily used dirty moves without regret. The mages have also started bombarding. Circuit family, to Nadri family, please concentrate your firepower on the central area. The new skill that manifests along with sublimation has the effect of increasing transmission capacity after screaming beyond a certain level. That is, the louder you shout, the voice is transmitted to the target, even if it is a fierce battlefield. That way it can be used to compensate by sending instructions to those who didn't receive the orbi. Looking at the rear of the troops on the battlefield, Lily stood on the roof of the huge tomb and at the same time issued instructions with her eyes and skills. However, the anxiety on her face didn't disappear. The magic sword was induced to be released. No, it was wasted. The battle started and the strong warriors attacked. It seems reckless at first glance, but it's actually a trap for the side to use, Kroso's demon sword. Hayden probably didn't underestimate the threat posed by the magic sword, created by Welf and the Hephaestus Familia. He must have been on his guard. First consume some magic sword with a limited number of times, and then let the full Cinderellas end the soldiers' losses. He still comes with a strong counterattack. The complete Cinderellas, as Lord Finn said, are very complicated. The outpost that should have been a complete victory was subverted by them, a girl to be precise. An army that is not afraid of death and one of the best healing skills in the city. If one of the two is missing, it cannot be implemented, and it is indeed a tactic that only the Freya Familia is empowered to adopt. However, This time the position is exposed. Just like the enemy's first-tier adventurers, complete Cinderellas are also the top priority to defeat.